It is Red Dragon 1 today. We are starting a new 13-day energy. We are starting a new Castle 50-day energy, 52-day. And we are starting a whole new round of the calendar. For the next 9 months, we'll be in a new adventure. Today starts the story of the hand. The story of a dragon that uses healing hands and divine intervention to walk the skies and the earth. This wave has as its talent the eagle. Talent is that which goes easy to get some overview over things. And the theme is the dragon. That's the starting point of this wave. The dragon is also the morning rise, the sunrise. It's a new beginning that starts today. This is the moment in larger calendars where we are right now in the larger cycles. Of course, in 2012, the old calendar ended and the world didn't end, except that's kind of what happens. It's just the world ends, but a new world begins. And so today is this energy of a new world is beginning, as it does every 9 months. And so we get to move forward with faith, having faith in life. Having faith that everything will be okay. That we get to have a new start. That, right now in the world, a lot of things are happening that we may see as terrible, as tragic, as destructive, and whatever else, right? Of course. And yet, we have to realize that something had to end in order for something new to begin. It's kind of like the caterpillar, right? I don't know if you know this story. If you do, you may have heard this too many times, but you can never hear it too many times, and a lot of people haven't heard this story. So the caterpillar, right? A caterpillar will eat as much as they can in their short lifespan. And they will eat and eat and eat, and they'll be kind of destructive to their local environment, but only a very tiny local environment, only for a short time span, so it's not that big a deal. Because the caterpillar will transform, will go into that dark night of the soul, that depth of getting into their cocoon, where almost every part of them has to die. Now, I just want to go back for a moment. So, humanity has just gone through this process of eating everything they could and getting way overpopulated and destroying their environment. But we've only really been doing that for a very short while. Just like the caterpillar. If a caterpillar were to live for very long and continue eating like that, they could take the whole tree down. But because they live for a short while, they can eat all day long as much as they can, and they've only, eaten a couple of leaves from one branch on a tree. So it's okay. Lots of caterpillars. I've seen this happen in my own garden, where you see a bunch of caterpillars, and you're like, wow, they're really eating the leaves. I mean, they've eaten that whole branch. Oh my God, what's going to happen to my birch tree, right? And what you realize is that nothing's going to happen. That one branch is gone, and everything else is fine. Okay, so we've just been going through that process of humanity being the caterpillar that eats everything, that would destroy its environment if that continued. It had to stop. We have to go on to the next phase. The next phase is becoming a cocoon. The next phase is getting into that cocoon, going through our dark night of the soul, going through the self-transformation process of crossing the boundary between third and fifth dimension, as people call it. I still don't get the whole dimensions point, but I know, that's what we call it for some reason. I'll figure that out at some point. I tend to just say, we're going from the old world to the new world. The old world is dying. The new world is being born. And we are building that new world together. So we have to step into the process of becoming a new human. And the next 52 days are all about that, about going through the shadow work, about redesigning your life, about changing your lifestyle and stepping into a new way of life in harmony with nature, in harmony with the flow of divine love. So, the caterpillar. We go into the cocoon. What happens to a caterpillar is almost all of the cells of the body of the caterpillar break down. They die. And a few specialized cells stay alive. Those specialized cells hold the design of a butterfly. And as the body of the caterpillar turns to goo, wow, I didn't make this metaphor before so deeply, so I'm just realizing my body kind of couldn't move or do anything anymore for a while. It's kind of like my body turned to goo, and my muscles couldn't do much at all. So this is the story of the caterpillar. In the cocoon, the body turns to goo. A few cells still live. And out of what has been, allowed to die, basically, out of all of this goo, a new body gets built. A body of a butterfly. And so in this cocoon, a butterfly is being born. This is what happens when we go into the process. We start growing butterfly wings and butterfly colors. I need to work on my colors. And wings, maybe. So, we become a butterfly. And eventually, we have to break out of the cocoon. We have to break open that cocoon and push ourselves out and start using our body. And it hurts and it's difficult. Because we haven't used it for a while, right? In fact, we never used it because we just built up this body. We're still, only just been born. And the butterfly has to sort of stand there and wait, having wings, but they can't really use them. You just have to sort of let them dry and just sort of move them around a little bit. And then they can fly. That's the beautiful process. So, we're stepping into that right now. You're stepping into that right now, right? Because that's exciting. That's awesome. You're probably already in the middle of it. And this wave, right? The next 13 days I want to talk about. So, this is embracing the process of going with the flow of life. Embracing the healing process of letting go into the flow. This is about embracing your shadow, allowing yourself to express as you want to, and just letting it all come out so that you don't have to hold yourself back, and you can really allow yourself to just express as you are without perfecting, without holding back, without trying to be something you're not, without trying to be something you think you're supposed to be. You just let yourself express. You just go with the flow. You don't need to be in control, which can be scary. That's okay. And start moving. Be open to what's coming, to what's new. This wave is about getting out of a depression. It's about crawling out of the depths. But first, we have to go in, right? First, we have to go into our own bubble. So allow yourself to get into the bubble. You don't need to be focused on everything that's happening outside. Just allow yourself to move into this beautiful cocoon. Allow yourself to be with your people or with yourself. You don't have to. We just came out of the wave of feedback, of multiculturalism, of interacting with everything that's not you in order to come into unity consciousness, in order to come into the full understanding that we're all one. We all have the same values. We're all essentially working on the same thing. But also that, gosh, it's exhausting to be exposed to all of this information, to be exposed to everything that's happening around you. And so now get back into the bubble. Get back into the safety of the womb. Get back into the safety of being close to the mother, the great mother. The red dragon is the great mother energy. Pachamama, Mother Earth. And allow yourself to grow in body wisdom, in passion. Allow the snake to rise within you. In this wave, everything is in right alignment. It's exactly as it's supposed to be. All the signs are in their proper places on the tones. This is the basic story of humans. I hope it makes some sense. It's a wave about allowing yourself to be silly. Allowing yourself to be visible, transparent, naked. Allowing yourself to be seen. But not because you have to go out there and show yourself, but because you just allow it. You don't hide yourself. So go with the adventure, go with the flow, You don't have to do anything in this wave. Just take good care of yourself. Just feel that safety and that warmth and let yourself be okay. Let yourself do what you want to do and not do what you don't want to do. It's okay. And we're getting ready for the next adventure, right? Like I said, this is the wave of being in the womb. And allow yourself to just heal from that experience of being safe, of being in your own bubble. As we get ready, as we build to get excited again about the future, to get excited again about the coming adventures, as we get ready to incarnate into our next story. We've been figuring out what we want over the past while. We've been gathering new information. We've been gathering new beliefs and understandings. We've been changing how we think about things. And now it's like, I said we've been figuring out what we want. I mean, we always are, but it's more like we've been gathering this information gathering these new understandings. And now we get to figure out, how are we going to put that into action? How can I actually make that happen? You know, we just came out of the fifth Costal, where we get to sort of hear what's coming up next. We get some glimpses and some ideas about what things do we want to do next. And now we can get onto designing how we're going to experience that. But that's coming right now. Just get into the womb. Just get into your safe space. Allow the healing flow of life to guide you. Do as you wish. And just let it be, Embrace just being and just expressing and doing what you want. Doing what feels good. And move forward, and this will reveal everything you need to be revealed for the next process, which I'll talk about later because I think this podcast has been going on for a while. So, I love you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, a wonderful, wonderful 13 days of this beautiful energy, and I'll be seeing you probably in a week, but definitely in 2 weeks when the next wave starts. So, I love you. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.